Howdy folks, and welcome back to Hook Work, where our goal is to help you catch more and bigger fish through proper hook selection. And oh buddy, this week we're going old school. It's just you, me, and some hooks. Actually, this week we're talking about jigs, okay? If you're following Trokar and if you fish Trokar, you're a serious stick and you want to be the best angler you can be each and every time you fish, okay? When it comes to hook selection, you know that it makes a big difference. The difference between a 2-aught and a 1-aught could be the kicker that you need to win a tournament. It's that vital. The details in hook selection are vital. And then we get to jigs where a lot of folks just kind of punt. All right, they fish with what's readily available, and I'm not blaming them or you or anybody, but the fact of the matter is you can dial in even deeper by using jig hooks, okay? There's a lot of folks that are watching this, they're going, Eric, I have no interest in pouring. I don't know anybody that pours. Hold on, all right? If you're in a bass club, you got multiple people in that club that pour their own jigs, guaranteed. They're easy to identify too. It's somebody throwing a flipping jig into the gnarliest stuff. They break it off. They don't care, all right? They're spending pennies on the dollar to create their own jigs. That's gonna be your new buddy, all right? And if you're a serious stick, even if you don't fish tournaments, chances are you got at least one buddy that pours, all right? The reason why they pour, I pour, and so many people pour is you get exactly what you're looking for, okay? You get to build a jig on what you're fishing for, where you're fishing, and how you like to fish. There's economic differences there too. It's a lot more affordable. And most importantly, the hook you're using, the quality, the sharpness, everything else, you get to choose. So you get to choose a premium hook, you get to choose the attributes of the hook to really dial in exactly what you're looking for and optimize your presentation, all right? So I've whittled down the audience already. You gotta be a serious stick and you gotta at least entertain the idea of either making your own jigs or reaching out to somebody that wants to make them for you, okay? Here's the reason why. When it comes to hook selection, it's no different when it comes to jigs and jig hook selection. The devil is in the details, and little tiny changes, whether it's the size of the hook, the length of the shank, the gauge of the wire, it all plays a huge role in your bite to hookup ratio. So a couple different scenarios. For years and years and years, I poured a football head on a little beefier wire jig hook. Okay, my bite to hookup ratio wasn't fantastic. It was good, don't get me wrong, it was good, but anybody that fishes tournaments, you know what good is. Good is like not what I want. I want phenomenal. I want every time I feel a tick, I reel down, I put the wood to them, I got that fish. That's what I want. That's the ultimate goal. So this past year, I kind of looked at how I was fishing. Okay, I am fishing anywhere from clear water, 10 to 15 feet of water. I'm not fishing near anything where I have to worry about beef, right? So not stick-ups or anything like that. It's offshore humps. It's rock. So I don't need a big beefy hook. I don't need a flipping hook. I don't need something with a thick gauge wire. So I looked at our hook selection and I ended up going with a TK900. Okay, when I switched to the TK900, which is a killer hook, I wouldn't say it's a light wire hook, but it's lighter than what I was using, and it's got the Pro V bend. It went from, dude, I don't know if I want to use that in a tournament because I'm not landing everything, to if they sniff it, this is a done deal. Okay, same thing can be said for, let's say you're fishing a Ned rig, but instead of chasing 2 to 3 pound smallies, you got chances at 6s and 7s. Okay, this is a different scenario, but same thing. The gauge of the hook, the strength of the hook matters. So this TK570 VP, this is a normal, like a standard gauge wire hook. This is gonna be perfect for so many people that chase smallmouths with Ned rigs, all right? But if you're one of those folks that you're up in the Great Lakes region, you're catching legitimate tanks like this time of year by the bushel, and you got a chance at a 6, a 7, or goodness gracious, maybe even an 8, that's when you start pouring on the HP, the heavy version of that same hook. The hook that when you crack them, you know that it's got the strength needed to land probably the biggest fish of your life, right? Another way that this comes into play, and this is something that's actually another example of how it's personal with me, is a couple weeks ago we had a derby. My wife was on fish, but she kept losing them. It had nothing to do with the hook, I don't think, but they were eating it a little bit goofy, so day 2 of the tournament, she lost 6 or 7 fish. I went into the lab. I took TK570 VPs. I took a Dremel tool. Okay, now we're taking this audience that's not only fishermen, serious anglers, now DIY, and now it's even tighter to DIY and willing to take a Dremel tool to your molds, but there's a reason for it. So I took the 570 VP, I dremeled out my mold a little bit, and now in 3/16 and a quarter ounce, I can use a 3/0 or a 4/0. I poured these up, powder coated them for my wife, and 2 weeks later, she whooped me in the state championship, and she won it. All right. I think moving that hook point back ever so slightly was the difference between getting bit and landing fish. In the Trokar lineup, guys, we have just a full array of jig hooks. You can go light wire, you can go heavy wire, multiple sizes, and it's just something that you want to think about. At the end of the day, it's not just a fish hook. All right. I don't care if we're talking about jig hooks, worm hooks, flipping hooks. It's not just a fish hook. It's the connecting point between you and your dreams. And as you can see, I'm as passionate about this as I am fishing, because I know if you take your drive, your fire, your passion, and you put it into your own personal hook work, your hook selection, your hooks are going to work for you and make you the best angler you can be. And that's the goal.